All right. All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to say, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone, taught me this truth, and shalom. Peace, blessings, and safety to you brothers and you few sincere sisters out there, all right? So I wanted to go into real quick, just bring out some points, and Lord's will, it'll be edifying and straight to the point. But this is relatively old news. You see, it came out July 3rd, but the Spirit has been getting on the elder apostle Tahar to speak about these wearables, as well as other elders and brothers, who are pushing this word, man. All right, so what's with the Spirit, bringing this out? It's that this is gradualism, all right? Gradualism heading towards the mark of the beast, all right, which is the RFID chip, okay? And that's going to be an implantable thing, all right? Revelation 13 and 16, that word mark goes into charagma in the Greek, if you get it in the blue letter. I'm not going to jump to it right now, all right? But that word is charagma. It means an imprinted mark, all right? It's a physical mark, okay? Now, this is it says RFK Jr. wants, this is on ABC News, it says, RFK Jr. wants everyone to use wearables. What are the benefits, risks? All right. Kennedy said his vision is for every American to have a wearable within 4 years. All right. Slack you. All right. So it says last week, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced the agency was launching a campaign to encourage all Americans to use wearables to track health metrics. All right. Wearables come in the form of watches, bands, rings, patches, and clothes that can be used for a variety of reasons, including monitoring glucose levels, measuring activity levels, track heart health, and observe sleeping patterns, all right? So they're going to brand this as like a healthy thing, all right, something to track your health, okay? They're not going to ban the chemtrails, they're not going to ban GMO foods, they're not going to take fluoride out of the water, all right? But they're going to have you wear this thing, all right? Why? Because it's ultimately a plan, all right, that they're being given by the elites to fulfill Revelation 13:16, all right, which their plan is just to chip everybody, all right, but the Most High's plan is to fulfill his prophecy, all right, which every single word in the scriptures is going to be fulfilled, okay, and the elites, they know, the top wicked elite, they know that the chip is the fulfillment of Revelation 13:16, all right. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, it says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices," okay? So who are Satan's children on planet Earth? The Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man, all right? Beginning with the top banking families, okay? So we're not ignorant to his devices, all right? We know that he uses something called gradualism, all right? Let's get that, Salaki, let's get this. Define gradualism, okay? It says a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution, okay? So you see how gradually America has, and really the whole world, all right, because the whole world follows America's lead, because that's the role of Babylon the Great, okay, to make the whole world drunk with its philosophy, okay? But nevertheless, you see how we've shifted away from cash, all right? Back in the day, cash was just, that was your bread and butter, all right, to make payments, all right? I mean, that was before there was technology. That was all you had, cash and checks, but now there's credit cards, all right? And now you have, it's gradually shifted to where, you used to have to, jam your credit card in the reader or slide it, all right? Now you just tap it, you hold it over, all right? You hold your Apple Watch to the reader and scan that. You hold your phone to the reader and scan that, all right? It's getting you comfortable on a subconscious level with taking your hand and not tapping it to anything, but just holding it, hovering it over the thing, all right? The palm reader at Whole Foods, all right? This is gradualism to make the masses comfortable with having a chip in their hand, because that's what it's ultimately going to come down to scan their stuff, all right? So it's just getting you used to the motion of, okay, I'm at the checkout, I'm going to pay. What am I going to do? I'm going to grab either my phone or my card or my smartwatch, and I'm going to just hover my hand over the scanner, all right? So it gets you comfortable with that motion, and that subconsciously you just start thinking that's normal, all right? So we are heading to that cashless society, where the mark of the beast is going to be implemented. Okay, and we know, pursuing to Genesis the 3rd chapter, that the serpent, which is the wicked, which came back as Cain and later came back as Esau today in this day and age, okay, best embodied by the top wicked elite of Esau, Edom, but really they're all devils. All right, we know. Let's read it right here. Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent, the wicked, was more subtile than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, hath power said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. All right, but the point being, and that's a whole nother topic, Genesis the 3rd chapter. I suggest you brothers, go and get the breakdown on that. But I just want to bring this point out. The serpent was more subtile than any beast of the field, meaning the other nations. Okay, so that's talking about the wicked, okay, which came back as Cain and later came back as Esau. All right, what does subtile mean in this case? All right, I believe in the Paleo Hebrew, you would pronounce this arawam. All right, arawam, which means subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. All right. It's not sensible to just come out with the microchip and just force everybody. All right, everybody take it. You gotta take it. You gotta take it or getting your head chopped off. People are gonna flip their lids. All right. There would be all types of. It's lucky. There would be all types of Edomite Christians, which many of them are Jake. All right, and just Jake and many other people just being up in arms. All right, and saying, hell no, we're not taking that. We'll go out blasting if it comes down to it. So what they're going to do is they're going to do something, crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent, which is gradualism, all right, to get their evil plans to work. They're going to gradually, slowly but surely move towards that MOTB, all right? So it's like warming, it's like a warm up, they're warming up your mind to getting an implantable piece of technology within your hand to make payments, okay? And let's just bring it out, Revelation 13:16, for you brothers and sisters who are new, all right, to the faith, to the truth, which it is the truth, but we believe it by faith, Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, a charagma, all right, the microchip, in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is their brain chip, okay, that brain chip, you see? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, okay? Excuse me. So you're going to need this chip to buy and sell, because they're going to make it a cashless society, all right? And they're also going to put that universal basic income on that chip, okay? So let's get that word mark real quick. To receive a mark, that's Strong's G 5480. Let's hear it.
Strong's G 5480, charagma,
or charagma, as we say, all right? A stamp, an imprinted mark. So imprinted is going to be embedded within individual's skin, okay? Of the mark stamped on the forehead, that's the brain chip. You see they got these paralyzed Edomites. They're giving them the brain chip to make them walk again, all right? Deceiving the whole world with signs and wonders, all right, lying miracles, all right, or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. And the scriptures tell you there are many anti-Messiahs, all right. The mark branded upon horses, anti-Messiahs when the C, when the C to the 0 to the V to the 1 to the D, all right, if you catch my drift, when that happened, all those people that were guilt tripping people into taking that snake juice, saying you're a terrible person, you're gonna delete people if you don't take it. Those people were anti-messiahs. All right, that was anti-messiah behavior. All right. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work. All right, of idolatrous images. So they're gonna carve into you to give you this mark. All right, so it's the microchip. All right. So. That's what it is, man, and they're going to use gradualism to do it because they're not dummies, all right? They're the top wicked elite of Esau, Edom. They're very cunning, all right? And the Most High has put that cunning, evil spirit within them, all right? That's who they are, okay? And the Most High is going to use them to fulfill prophecy, all right? So that microchip is coming, All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, so I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and Shalom to all you brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.